right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Or if this is your first time here, this is a series that I'm calling eBay for Beginners, and I'm breaking down step by step how to sell stuff on eBay for a profit. So if you missed the last video, in the last video that I posted, we talked about how to source stuff, how to take pictures, how to list your items on eBay, and what to do once your items sell. So in today's video, I'm gonna go a bit more in depth on how to handle stuff after the fact. So after the items sell on eBay, what are the next steps? So what I thought I could do, I have 4 items that sold yesterday for us on eBay. So why don't we grab those items and then I'm gonna ship them out with you so you can see exactly how I ship those items out on eBay. And then also in today's video, I wanna talk about our inventory management system. So it's all well and good to buy stuff and list that stuff and sell it on eBay, but what do you do once you have hundreds and thousands of items? How do you keep track of those items? How do you store those items? That's what I want to get into today as well. But before we jump into that, let's gather up these eBay sales and ship them out to our paying customers. So you can see, here's the first item that I'm gonna grab. We use this section called the custom label SKU. So on eBay, you can input that in so you know where the item is located once you list it. The general public does not see that, only the eBay seller sees that. So this one says custom label SKU shelf below bin M. And this is a Microsoft Xbox One, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, that sold for $25.50. So this isn't organized exactly how we usually have it organized, but the custom SKU said M, the shelf below M, and that's where there's some video games. So right here, we've got the Xbox One Skyrim sealed that sold for $25.50. Next up is this Raymarine GPS that sold for $255, and the custom label says next to bin L. So back over to our shelf, there's bin L, and next to bin L. Hello there. Raymarine GPS unit. It's like a boat GPS system, I guess. And that sold for a decent amount of money. Sold for $255. So this Junie Burke purse I actually picked up recently at a yard sale. I paid 25 cents for it, believe it or not. I tried to offer her more money, but she only wanted 25 cents. And it sold for $36. So not a huge sale, but 25 cents into $36 is great. And the custom label says shelf above bin AT. So bin AT is over here, shelf above, there it is. So after Callie took the pictures of this one, she already bagged it up for us, which is nice to keep like dust or anything off of it. So that is already packaged up and ready to go. And then the last item is this vintage Atlanta hat that sold for $22, and custom label says shelf above bin AG. I know we keep all the hats in the same kind of place over here. So AG, shelf above AG, there it is. We got the Atlanta 1996 dead stock hat snapback. This sold for $22. All right, so this is actually a pretty good variety of items to show you how to ship. We have some smaller items that are gonna get packaged up and go USPS ground advantage. And then we have some larger items that could possibly go UPS or FedEx. We will see. But let's start with the smaller items first. And before I show you how to ship, let's talk about some shipping supplies that we recommend you keep in stock. We use these little blue poly mailer bags. These are great for t-shirts, for little video games like this. You can just bubble wrap it, put it in there and ship it out. I believe we buy these on eBay and they're just a few cents when you buy them by the thousands. A tape gun and tape is very necessary for shipping stuff on eBay. You get this eBay branded tape. If you have an eBay store, they send you a coupon once a quarter and you can use that coupon to purchase eBay supplies. So we've never paid for this eBay tape. If you don't have a store, just go buy regular tape. It doesn't really make a difference to have the eBay branded tape. We just use it because it's literally free for us to get it. Get yourself a cheap scale off eBay or Amazon. This is an AccuTech scale. It goes up to 50 pounds and it goes all the way down to 0.1 ounces. It's a good scale to have. For heavier stuff, we have a larger shipping scale, but it's very rare that we're shipping something over 50 pounds. And then what we like to do is, what we like to do is we recycle all of our boxes, and our friends and family know that we ship stuff all the time on eBay, so they save their packaging supplies for us. When they get stuff from Amazon or eBay or whatever, they get stuff in the mail, they'll give us all their packaging to recycle. We try to recycle all the packaging we can. But stuff like this, like the padded flat rate envelopes and boxes, like the shoe boxes that we use and the flat rate boxes that we use for USPS, you can just go to USPS.com and order those supplies for free. So they'll send you these supplies totally for free. Just be careful when you're using them because they can only be used with USPS priority mail. So I can't take this game and put it in this bag and then ship it FedEx. That's against the law, actually. So just make sure that you're using the supplies the correct way. And then bubble wrap is obviously a good thing to have. If you don't have supplies that are recycled, you can buy bubble wrap on eBay or Amazon fairly cheap. And then the last thing before we get to shipping, you don't have to do this, but it does help with feedback. We use these thank you cards. We get them printed locally, just 4x6 postcards. It costs us like $200 for 5,000 of them, something like that. If you don't want to do printed thank you cards, I still suggest like writing out a note and saying thank you when you first start out, just because it makes the transaction more personal. So when someone's buying something on eBay, sometimes they're going to look at it and go, I'm buying this from eBay. When you want them to know that they're buying it from a small business, from a person, and that little thank you card saying thank you for your purchase. If you have any issues, please reach out to us before leaving negative feedback. And if you're satisfied with your purchase, please leave positive feedback. Having that little thank you note just goes the extra mile. And it's a good thing to do when you start and keep it going as your business grows. All right, enough yapping. Let's ship some stuff out. We're gonna start with the video game. The video game gets wrapped up in the bubble wrap with a thank you card. Bubble wrap it nicely, tape it up, and then put it in a poly bag. We've never had any negative feedback doing it this way. If you wanna go the extra mile and put it in a box, go for it. But you know, this works totally fine. We've sold thousands of video games this way. So package it up in the poly bag on the scale. This is gonna weigh 4.1 ounces. So now I'm in eBay's shipping center. Here's another tip. Always use eBay's shipping. Don't take the item into the post office and buy shipping in the post office. You're gonna pay way too much money doing that. You get a discount for using eBay's shipping. You can use an outside source when you get used to the system like Pirate Ship or Shippo. But for the time being, if you're just starting out, and this is an eBay for Beginners video, if you're just starting out, use the eBay shipping system, print your labels through eBay, buy your labels through eBay. It's gonna save you a ton of money. So we're gonna click on Get Shipping Label. This is where you put your weight in. So again, it was 4.1 ounces. So I'm gonna round up to 5 ounces. The dimensions of the poly bag, 12 by 8 by 2. Now, if you scroll down, you can see the services. UPS Ground Advantage, that's typically going to be the one that's good for the smaller, lighter weight items. So to ship this out, it's going to cost us $4.43. Then you just print your label out. And one thing that I didn't mention is we do use a thermal label printer. You don't have to get a thermal label printer when you first start out, and you don't have to get a Rollo. Rollers are fairly expensive. I will say they're a great product. We've been using that same Rollo printer for the past like 5 years. And we've put literally tens of thousands of orders through that one single printer. So I do like Rollo, but there's other thermal printers out there. You can get one for, you know, 60, 70 bucks. The cool thing about thermal printers is you don't have to continue to buy ink and put new ink in there, like an inkjet printer. But if you don't have one, you can still print out your label on an inkjet printer and then tape it on to the box. But thermal printers it's a good investment once you get some money rolling from your business. So that is shipped. That's the game shipped out. Next up is gonna be our Atlanta hat. Now, here's a big pet peeve of mine. Don't ship hats in poly bags. Take the time to put the hat in a box. It's not like the video game where it's already a rigid item. A hat, if you put it in a poly bag, by the time it gets to the customer, it's gonna be destroyed. Packages are gonna get put on top of it. It's gonna mess up the brim, especially on a brand new hat like this, a dead stock one. Find a little box, put it in the box, pay the extra $1 or $2 to get it shipped to the customer the right way. So I got the hat in a poly bag and I'm recycling this box. This is what is this? Heatable stuffed animal box. Don't be afraid to recycle boxes. Like I said earlier, we've never had an issue. As long as the items get into the customer in the condition that they purchased it, we've never had an issue reusing recycled boxes. All right, once again, packaged up on our handy scale here. Let's see what we got. 7.6 ounces. So I'm gonna round that up to 8 ounces for shipping purposes. This box is 6 by 5 by 9 inches, and again, 8 ounces. Let's see what the best option is gonna be here. We scroll down, again, USPS Ground Advantage is going to cost us $4.47. Label goes on the box, and our second item has been shipped. All right, now let's get into some of the bigger items. We're going to start with the Dooney Burke purse. Now, even though this is already packaged for us in the poly bag, thank you, Callie, for doing that, because this is an item that could get damaged during shipping, I am going to repackage this. I'm going to leave it in the poly bag because that's good, but I'm going to repackage it into a box so that it gets to the customer and they're happy. I think I found a recycled box that should work well. Let's see here. How do you fit? Nice, perfect fit. There is some extra room, so I'm going to throw in some more recycled air puffs on top. Don't forget the thank you note, which is over here. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that goes in. We're going to tape this up, get the weight, and let's see how it's going to ship. Oh, one other tip. If you are recycling boxes, make sure to remove any other labels that are on the box. So look around the box, and if there's another like shipping label, make sure to take that off or cover it up, because you don't want the postal service to try to scan an old label and then your item gets returned to sender. All right, that is nicely packed up. Let's see how much it weighs. Looks like we're working with 3 pounds, 4.3 ounces. Dimensions on this box, 12 by 16 by 9. 12 by 16 by 9. So 3 pounds, 5 ounces. Dimensions are 12 by 16 by 9 for that box. Let's see what we got. Looks like we got pretty lucky, actually. USPS Ground Advantage. It's only going to cost us $6.72. So here's the thing that I wanted you to notice. On eBay, you save 45%. That's why I tell you to buy your labels on eBay. Because if you walked into the post office and try to buy the same label, it's going to be at least 45% more expensive. Now, before I choose that, I do want to show you some of the other options. So if we go to FedEx, the cheapest FedEx option is going to be $14.23. If we go to UPS, the cheapest UPS option is going to be UPS Ground for $6.71. So this is a penny cheaper, but I would have to go to another location to drop it off. So I'm just going to keep it as USPS Ground Advantage for $6.72. Label goes on, and that purse is shipped. Okay, last item, the most expensive of the items that we sold, and probably the most delicate. So we're gonna have to spend a little bit of time making sure that we're wrapping this up right and packaging it the right way. It is also a bit heavy, but again, it sold for a lot of money. So let's do it the right way. So I have a whole bunch of recycled packing material here from like old Amazon orders. We're gonna use some of that. And this looks like a pretty good box. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be the perfect box. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bubble wrap this thing to death. Again, don't skimp on packing supplies. If it's gonna cost you an extra 20 cents in bubble wrap to make it a lot more padded, pay the extra price. The worst thing that can happen is it gets to the customer, they pay $250 for it, and now it's broken and you have to take a return and eat the cost of shipping. It's not a good thing. It's happened to us, it happens to the best of us. Just make sure you're doing the best job you can wrapping the item up before you ship it. Again, remove those old labels if you are recycling a box. Now I'm taking some of our recycled packing material and I'm padding the bottom of the box. The idea with a delicate item like this is to try to get it to float right in the middle there, surrounded by packing material so that it's not touching any side of the box. You want it to float right in the center so that if it's moving around and bouncing, it's still safe and secure. See, so packing material on the bottom, this is bubble wrapped, and now I'm gonna surround this entire thing with more packing material. And here's the final product. Very well protected, surrounded by packing material, floating right in the center of that box. Now we are ready to tape this up, get the dimensions, and ship it out. This bad boy comes in at a whopping 6 pounds, 4 ounces. That's a healthy baby boy. We've got 14 by 9 by 18. 6 pounds, 4 ounces, 18, 14, 9. Let's see what we got. Looks like we got lucky again because this is going from Florida to Georgia. USPS Ground Advantage is going to cost us $12.34. FedEx Ground Economy would be $14.80, and UPS Ground would be $14.64. So USPS wins this time around again. 1, 2, 3, 4, $12.34. That label goes nicely right on the box, and everything is shipped, just those 4 items today. Hopefully that helped out a little bit. If you've never shipped on eBay before, that's how we do it every single day. So hopefully that helped out. Before we jump into how we're doing our inventory management system, I hope you are enjoying today's video. If you are, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Because like I said, I'm going step by step on how we've built our eBay business from a $200 start into a multi-million-dollar business. So please subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have more videos like this out. And then the last thing is we do also have a reseller group. There's a Discord channel and we do live Zoom calls with the group every single week. It's for everyone from beginners to multi-million-dollar sellers and everything in between. The coolest thing about the group is that there's no ego. Everyone's in there to help out, to help support, to see everybody grow. So if you want to be a part of that group, just go to ralliroots.com or click the link in the description of today's video and you can join the group. It costs less than $1 a day. All right, let's move on to the next step, which is our inventory management system. I just remembered, I actually forgot to show you a very important step, which is how to create a shipping profile on eBay. So how do you even create a shipping profile on the listing? So let's jump over to an eBay listing and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so once you're in the listing, you're gonna scroll all the way down to where you see your shipping policy. So in your shipping policy right here, this is where you choose a policy. But if you don't have any in there, the easiest thing to do is click on the 3 little dots over here and click on Create Shipping Policy. So now when you're creating the shipping policy, this is where you'll set up for each type of item. So like if we're doing a flat rate shipping for t-shirts, for example, and we want that to be $5, let me show you how to do that. So I would name the policy t-shirts, and then flat, same cost to all buyers. The service we would use would be Ground Advantage. The cost would be $5. Handling time, that's up to you. We do 1 business day. And then you just click on Save and Close. So now I know in my shipping policy, if I'm listing a t-shirt and I want to charge a $5 flat rate shipping, I just click down and I click on that t-shirt policy and it'll automatically apply that policy to the listing. And that's across the board how you do it. If you want to do free shipping, then you create a policy for free shipping. If you want to do a $15 flat rate, let's say for heavier items, and do like a UPS ground or some sort of a shipping policy for that, then you create a shipping policy for that. So it's okay to have multiple shipping policies. You could do like from 0 ounces up to 2 pounds, I'm gonna charge $5.99 for shipping. From 2 pounds to 6 pounds, I'm gonna charge $9.99 for shipping. From 10 pounds to 20 pounds, I'm gonna charge $19.99 for shipping. And you have those 3 policies that kind of gives you a wide range of different items you can list under those same shipping policies. But that's how you create a shipping policy on eBay. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so now that you have a basic understanding of shipping, I'm gonna talk to you about our inventory management system. Now, this is a very scaled down version of our inventory management system, but for most people, I would say for 90+% of people watching today's video, this is perfect for the majority of people's situations. You don't have to be crazy with this. You don't have to do barcode scans. You don't have to do, a crazy number system. This works for, I would say, up to 10, 20,000 items actively listed on eBay. This system will work. And like I said, it's very, very basic. This is a lettered bin system. So we have these clear bins, and as you can see, they have letters on them. We started with A through Z, and once those letters are finished, once you need more room, then you can go AA, BB, CC, DD, and once all those are full, then you can go AAA, BBB, CCC, until forever if you want to. But this system does work, and again, the way that this works is once we're finished taking pictures, we assign a letter, and that's the letter that goes in that custom SKU field on eBay. So when the item sells, let's say something sells from bin AG. In that custom SKU, it'll say AG, which lets us know we go to bin AG, we open it up, and we find the item. Now, how we used to do this is we would number the items in the letter bin. So in bin AG, we would have items numbered from 1 to 30. And when we listed the item, we would assign it a letter and a number. So it would be like AG1, AG2, AG3, and then we would tag that item and then put it in the bin. But what we discovered when we did that for a while is, let's say 5 things sell out of AG and there's 30 things in there, and they're different numbers, then you have to go back and reuse those same numbers and reassign those numbers to different items. So for us, we just put everything in the bin. It doesn't take very long. If you only have 20 or 30 things in a bin, it really doesn't take that long to open up the bin and find the item that's sold. One thing that I do suggest, depending on how your items are stored, is get bins with lids. So I think we got these from Costco. but I'm pretty sure you can get them from Walmart or Target or anywhere you can, probably Amazon, get bins. But I do like ones with lids because it keeps any dirt or dust that's just in the air. If items are sitting on the shelf for a while, kind of keeps that dust off of them and keeps the items clean, so you can just take it out and ship it straight away. And then as far as shoes go, because we do sell a lot of shoes as well, we just have very simple shoe racks that I believe we bought on Amazon, and each shoe rack is labeled with a letter as well. So A through Z, same thing as the bins. We just assign one of the letters on the shoe racks to each pair of shoes, and we put the shoes on that rack. Again, it's a very, very simple system, but it has worked for us for years, and I know it'll work for you. And this is a good thing to do if you're just starting out. It's good to put some sort of a system in place, an inventory system, so that as you grow, you're not losing all your items. Believe it or not, there's a lot of resellers I know who just take all their stuff and put it in one location, and they'll have hundreds of things in one location, and then when something sells, they have to spend 20, 30 minutes looking for that item until they find it and then ship it out. So this saves you time. It does. And then as far as like a spreadsheet to track your items, you can do that if you want. I know people who will put the cost of the goods in the custom SKU as well. So they'll put like, and the date that they buy it. So they'll put like AG, July 9th, COG, cost of goods, $9. So they know when that item sells, when they listed it, and how much they paid for it, and then they'll transfer that into an Excel sheet. That's great. I mean, on a smaller scale, that's really good. I think that it's a good practice when you first start out. As your business grows, again, go talk to a CPA. Our CPA is really, really good. We've used them for years and years, and our CPA doesn't care about individual costs of goods and item sales. We just want to know top line. This is also because we have other income streams coming into our business, but for us, we just want to know top line revenue, bottom line, profit and loss, and make sure the business is actually making money. You kind of have to find that structure as you go, but I do think when you first start out, tracking each individual item sale, it's not a bad thing to know that you're actually making money on each item. That's a good thing to know. But I think this is probably a good place to end today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, this is a series that I'm doing, a deep dive eBay for beginners series. In the first video, we talked about photography, we talked about listing the items. In today's video, we talked about shipping the items, which you saw. We talked about inventory management. In future videos, I want to talk more about maybe wholesale for eBay. I want to get into maybe some tax stuff, not for me, but I'll bring in like a financial advisor or CPA. I want to talk about retirement stuff. So, you know, as your business grows, you can come back to these videos and watch them and go, okay, what's the next step? It's a step-by-step video series. And also, if you are an eBay seller, if you're just starting out, or if you're an advanced seller, whatever your situation is, if you have a suggestion for videos you would like to see in this series, please leave a comment on this video and let me know what you would like to see, how we do things in our business, and I'll be happy to include that information in future videos. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ralli Roots, and have an awesome day. You guys are great. See you on the next one. Bye.